Welcome back to the Loading Up Podcast. I'm your host, Brother Zay, and tonight we have with me our two co-hosts, Producer Jay.
What's up, what's up?
And Brother Tay.
I'm cold, Mr. Robinson. Please.
Oh, no.
What's that from?
I don't know, I'm just making up things in my head again.
Oh.
I'm sure it was like I'm sure it was something being cold and I want some more.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a mixture of everything. Well, before we get into the podcast, let's hit that like and subscribe button. It's free. We appreciate you guys for listening, coming with us every week to hear us rant and rave about video games. And don't forget to hit the link in the description because we have some sponsors. Dubby Energy Drink. You can use code LUP at checkout to save yourself some money. NordVPN, where you can hide your location and watch shows in Japan. And Starforge PCs, where you can get some of the best custom-built and pre-built PCs on the market. Links are all in the description below.
You see those sponsors? They're very kindful, very thoughtful, very demure.
You just had to get that in there.
I thought my roommates have been doing it for the week, and we're now going at each other.
Oh boy.
I appreciate you, Brother Tay. I really do. All right, so let's get into what we've been playing. Brother Tay, you go first.
What have I... So, I've gotten... Literally, in the weeks I've been gone due to work being crazy, I got back to streaming this week as well, so... Back in the part 2 of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Gotta play... We're adding the Nintendo 64 emulator to our Switches because we're gonna start streaming Mario parties and Donkey Kong 64.
Oh boy, here
Very
we
nice.
that is. Oh, get ready.
And then since I've been gone, the new set of Team Fight-tastic for League of Legends is back. So my quest to platinum myself again, it's back on. I'm already on gold, so fun times.
Very
Nice.
good. Very nice.
Very
Just
thoughtful.
Mr. J?
Very patient.
Very demure.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, so as always, I've been playing the usual, just Metal Gear Solid. Actually finished
Why do you sound so sad about that?
because I know I take forever for games. Okay, like
We're
like
just
it
proud
either.
when you beat. We're proud when you beat one. We're always
So-
cheering for you.
I did like. Well, I got almost all the achievements for Metal Gear Solid. I literally have one more, and
wow.
it's to beat the game on the hardest difficulty. So
Ooh.
that I'm gonna wait a little bit on because that's very intimidating, and it might take me a while. So because remember when I did it for the last one, it took me months. So I'm gonna take a break, so that way I don't drive myself crazy.
Did you speedrun it?
So I have to beat the game on the hardest difficulty without killing anybody and without
Oh.
getting caught.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the hard part. So it's like all that combined, and I gotta do it under 3 hours, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the...
Yes, it's very hard. It's so the gameplay itself is not difficult. It's just all the constrictions that I have to deal with is what makes it hard.
Now they could keep that achievement.
So only reason I'm doing it is because Metal Gear Solid is my favorite, or one of my favorites, and because I did it for Mass Effect, the Mass Effect trilogy, I was like, you know what? Let me do it for all the ones. Now the real one is gonna be Kingdom Hearts whenever I decide to do that one.
Dear God, what are you
Yes,
Uncharted's my favorite game. I only platinum one. You don't got to do this, brother.
I have to do it, or else I'm not a real fan.
Says who?
Yeah, it says who.
Says me. So
All right.
They need your
anyway,
intervention.
no, I'm gonna take a break from it so I can play other stuff. Actually, so I went back into Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Okay.
So I'm making my way through that.
I saw you playing yesterday.
Yeah, so I was getting lost a little bit because after you don't play something for a while, you gotta figure out, okay, where was I going and what was I trying to do, and I was completely lost. So I had to like basically go back to the beginning and be like, okay, where did I go and where haven't I gone? And literally like that's what I had to do. Like it took me a while to figure that out, that I should just probably just start from the beginning and then figure that out from there. But I'm also trying to look for whatever it's called, the fragments. I don't know
Yeah.
yeah. Because I
Shadow
know
Tree
that
fragments.
yeah, so I know that's part of like the leveling up system, and like if I actually want to have a chance against these bosses, I need to find them. So I've been trying to look for those when I was playing last. But yeah, it's a good time. I haven't had any issues like other people were saying a few months ago. But yeah, so that and still playing Dungeons of Hinterberg um on my free time. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Very nice. Very good.
What you been playing?
I have been finishing games. So I played and finished Creatures of Ava, which is on Game Pass. It's an indie game. Despite it kind of bugged out on me, and I had to start over. But it bugged out right in the beginning of the game, so I wasn't too
Yeah, that's
mad
not
at
too
that.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like literally right at the beginning. You get to the main town and it bugged out. Like none of the missions showed up. So I had to restart a new game after it updated, which they already knew about the bug and they was working on a fix, so it wasn't long. So I beat that game. It was really good. I liked the story in that game. I recommend people try it out if you have Game Pass. I also played and beat the Mafia Definitive Edition.
Oh
Which,
yeah.
yes, it was really good. I liked it. I liked how they
How long is that game?
it's got quite a few chapters. I think it's like 15 to 20 chapters. They're not.
Okay.
Most of them are not long. Most of them are short. But then once you do beat it, you unlock like the free roam, and you can just go around doing whatever. And I was just doing that. So it's like after you do the story, you got the free roam. I think you get unlock the free roam after chapter 8. But I just did the whole story, then started doing some free roam stuff, like getting achievements for pick locking cars and finding collectibles and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it was really
Wait.
fun. I really liked the Mafia.
Oh,
Yeah, it was the Mafia Definitive Edition.
okay. I couldn't
Um,
remember what you said. I was like, what did he say?
I know that's why I
My
said it
brain
again.
Appreciate
Only
it. My
the
brain
first
froze.
one. Only the
That-
first one's on Game Pass, right?
Only I believe so. It used to be that Mafia 3 was on Game Pass as well, but I think they took it off.
Okay.
That was a while ago. But yeah, the first one. If you've never played the Mafia games, the first one's on there. It's really good. You should definitely go try that out. I've also been playing this new game that brother Matt and I have been playing. Arena Breakout Infinite. It's an extraction shooter, and it's like Tarkov. Escape from Tarkov.
Okay.
It's not as Escape from Tarkov is very sort of immerse, and like there's no HUD or anything like that. This one, it's a little bit more casual based, still just as hard, but a little more casual based. Having a lot of fun playing that. We've been playing it. I just unlocked like sort of like the armory mode where you gotta. It's a really small map, and you just go in there and try and kill as many people and survive as long as possible.
Yeah.
So we're playing that, and as well as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, I got Black Myth Wukong, and I'm playing through the first level. You're probably seeing me get my butt kicked.
Yeah, I'm
You
looking
will-
at you.
Yeah, you will see the first, not the opening boss, but the first big boss that I fight. He does kick my butt. Plus,
Is it
Dark
kinda-
Souls? Dark Souls will
Yeah.
con the greatness.
I
There's
mean,
so many
it's-
Dark Souls games now.
it's not really Dark Souls. It has elements you can see a little bit, but it's sort of like it's a little tough sometimes. You got to really learn the dodges of each boss, like learn how to dodge each boss and their attacks. And once you get it down, it's real easy because the second boss later on in the video, you'll probably see I beat him in one try, one shot. I was like, all right, that was a little bit too easy.
Would you consider it more like Bloodborne? Because it looks fantastic. I'm not gonna lie to you. Looking at it, looks beautiful.
I played on the PC. I didn't see any like performance issues or anything like that. I was playing everything on really high. It said very high for all the settings, so it ran really well. It was mostly 90 frames. If everybody cares about that, frames per second.
What
Go ahead.
No,
You-
I was gonna say what I've heard other people, because I haven't played it. I'm just watching the video now.
Yeah.
What I've heard people describe it, it's more like Sekiro than like a traditional Souls game.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's not. Though it has.
Ah,
I don't see it as Souls-like at all. As a little bit of elements of Souls-like, but it's more action.
Yeah.
It's more
Yeah,
action than anything.
so
The only
so
thing Souls-like is that you fight those big bosses one-on-one, and they can really mess you up. And once you sit at like one of the save points and rest, the people come back after you beaten them. So those are the only two like Souls-like elements they have in the game. Other than that, it's just an action game.
So yeah, it's like Sekiro's.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, actually, my friends and I, we started playing Among Us again this week.
Oh, Among Us.
Among Us is
Amigos.
always fun to get back into.
Aren't they making a sequel? I felt
I
like
don't
I
know.
heard.
I know
No,
it,
maybe.
How would they make
it came out on like the consoles, like on PlayStation and everything. So
Yeah.
that's why we were back on it.
Okay.
It's a good game
Yeah.
to play at like a party.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if everybody's in a different room, and
Mhm.
then yeah.
I mean, it kept me alive during the pandemic for a while.
Kept a
I
lot of
missed
us
out on it.
sane.
I have enough people to play with.
Wow.
You didn't
Wow.
call.
Like he didn't know us during the pandemic. That's crazy.
Hey, we didn't start this podcast at the pandemic. We did it
that
like
doesn't
a
mean-
year.
did.
We did it like 2 years after.
That didn't mean we cannot play games.
I mean,
yeah.
he's also right. Also, like, Brother Zay didn't know me too. He didn't know it during the pandemic. But we
That's
could have
true.
been closer. We could have been better off. You
Maybe if I
fucked us
didn't
up.
get fired from Target.
Wait,
I
you
was
got
trying.
fired?
Yes.
Oh shit. Oh,
Did you want
because of the
Donald Trump?
pandemic.
No.
Wait, no?
No. This is way before the pandemic.
No.
Oh, well, shit. I thought you left.
No. No.
Alright.
That's a story for a different time.
Yeah. That's another podcast.
Yeah, there's another podcast. So we'll jump right into the news because this week, Gamescom has started. It started on the 20th, and it will be running for the next 5 days. So it'll be until the 25th, where they're announcing games and are showing off games and showcasing games where people could play it at the Gamescom actual event. You can actually go there, watch the previews, and even try games at the halls because Xbox has a big presence at Gamescom. And they announced some stuff that we already know about, and also some hidden gems thrown in around there. I guess we could just get right into it on things that they have announced and they talked about. So people are getting to play Avowed. People are getting to play Sparking Zero, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero, which I'm really
Can't
excited
wait.
for. I know
Can't
I
wait.
can't wait for that game. I'm not refunding that one. They announced Little Nightmares 3. It's gonna be featured at the Bandai Namco
Wait,
booth there.
didn't they announce that?
Yeah, I told you it's not gonna be like everything's not brand new. They're showing stuff that also was announced previously.
Okay. I was
Yeah,
like, I could have sworn they said that was coming like next year or something.
Yeah, but they have like at Bandai they have like a book-
Playable. Okay, yeah.
exactly. Just like how the Sparking Zero comes out in October, but they have it now.
Right. Okay.
People were a select few got to try Indiana Jones, The Great Circle. We'll talk a little bit later about that game. There's so many other games that were announced. There's a lot of stuff. Ara History Untold. People got to see Age of Mythology, which is coming out on Game Pass, I think, in September. So a lot of games they're just showcasing new stuff from the games, like the DLC for Persona 3 Reloaded, which, by the way, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you'll get it for free, which is I think is really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, Persona 3 was absolutely amazing. It's like one of the perks. You just gotta claim it and you can download it. It's really, really dope. They showed off Space Marine 2, Stalker 2. Xbox has a really big presence. They're really showing off a lot of stuff this year where you can actually sit there and try it. They even announced things like Towerborn's coming early access to Steam first, which was kind of a big controversy because it was supposed to be originally announced for as an Xbox exclusive, but the first people who get to play it is Steam on that early access.
Through early access, yeah.
Yeah,
That's I don't get that one.
I think, I mean, Steam does early
'Cause-
access really easily.
Yeah,
know-
it's easier to like upgrade, update, and stuff like that. But
Yes, I think that's the
Xbox-
route they're going.
but they also have their game preview stuff.
True, but
So that's
it's not a first. Is it a first party? Is it an Xbox first party?
it's not first party, no.
I think that's mostly why, because it's not
But-
Xbox first party, even though
but
it's going
neither-
to be on Game Pass day one.
Neither was Pal World, and they got that on Game Pass.
You know, Power World is, I think, is smaller than
Maybe.
smaller team, smaller dev team. That's what I mean
Yeah.
by that. So they showed off a lot of stuff with Gamescom. You can always look on. I use Eurogamer because it's based. I think it's happening in Germany.
Yeah.
So I use Eurogamer to check out all the videos as well as articles about everything they showed, which was a lot. Like they even talked about on the opening night, which was very weird. The opening night they talked about Goat Simulator Remastered, like so the first Goat Simulator.
What?
Exactly.
Let's go. Rampage again.
So, like-
Isn't Goat Simulator already like?
I think the original was out like I want to say like PS3. I'm not
it's so
sure.
old.
No.
It's so old.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
maybe it is pretty
It's
old.
old. Yeah, the original, the first one. So they've sort of
Yeah.
remastered it. I don't.
They didn't need a remaster though.
didn't need it,
were
but
people were people asking for a Goat Simulator remastered?
Absolutely. You
Brother
mean?
Zay was.
There's 1 in 3 apparently.
Wait till they remaster. Wait till they remaster Squirrel with a gun. Oh, it's gonna be fantastic.
The
There's a
game just came
game.
out.
What?
What? You didn't know
Yeah,
about Squirrel with a gun?
Yeah,
No.
you gotta
What do you
YouTube
mean?
it.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
So
God.
fucking great.
Yeah.
Wait till
Yeah.
they get another remaster. There's gonna be a lot of remastering of Simulator. For me and Brother Zay, Supermarket Simulator.
So the Mario Simulator remastered.
Yeah.
Back.
Another thing that they started showcasing for Gamescom was on opening night was Amazon Prime Video is doing a new secret level anthology series where each episode will tell a story set in a specific game universe, including both new titles and some of the classic series of all times. So some of the games that they showcase in the video, where you can check it out on YouTube, is called Secret Level Anthology. Some of the
Secret
games
Tunnel.
Secret Tunnel.
some of the games they showcased was Pac-Man, Warhammer 40,000, Concord, which actually drops today, comes out today at midnight, I believe.
I gotta-
Mega Man.
I got an ad for that game.
Yeah,
This one,
yeah,
I
they're
guess.
really pushing it out there. Of
Yep.
course, they're gonna have New World, Atrium in there, Armored Core, Honor King, Seafood, Dungeons and Dragons, the Outer Worlds. They're gonna have a lot of sort of content for these animated shorts for video games, which I think is really cool. When I saw the trailer for it, I was like, "Wow, this looks very interesting." I wonder what it is. I read up more, and I was like, wow, Amazon's really going big on the video game content, which is really dope.
When I first saw the trailer, I thought this is genius.
Yeah.
Because so many times when a game gets adapted into something else, or as a TV show, movie, whatever, it's a risk because you don't know if that thing is going to be successful or not. You don't know if the fan base are going to appreciate it or not. Like, there's a lot of risk that comes with adapting anything, a book or a video game, whatever. So the fact that it's an anthology series means that they can essentially test out different games and be like, okay, will people like this episode? Will people like this episode? And see what they can kind of essentially gauge what games could potentially be a future TV show, movie, whatever the case. And I was
I didn't
just
even
like,
think
yo,
of it like that. That's
yeah,
dope.
no, I literally when I first saw that, I was like, yo, that is so smart, and I like it because there's less risk involved. Like, oh, if they have a bad episode, okay, maybe just don't do that game. But the
Yeah.
next episode might be different. So it's a really cool concept, and I'm surprised it's taken this long to attempt something like this. Maybe it's just video games weren't that popular for a long time, and now it's only becoming like, okay, now like there's a lot of
Yeah.
money to be made with video game IPs. So I like this, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
a-
it looks really dope. I don't even know if they set a date of when things are gonna start dropping. Um,
Oh,
oh
I
yeah,
don't
they
think
do have a release date. The release date is December 10th of
Yeah,
this
I was gonna
year.
say I thought it was December. Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like, I
it's
gotta
December
remember. I was like, I
10th.
just watched the trailer. I was like, I don't remember seeing one, honestly.
Yeah, no, I saw the trailer, but I didn't remember seeing it. I'm reading the article right now as we speak. Yeah, December 10th, which is great. That's great. We have something to look forward to that's video game related for, but TV show. It's
Did
really
they
awesome.
say it was gonna be like every episode drops, or is it gonna be like weekly, or?
Knowing Amazon, it's weekly.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So what I've heard is that when it's a new show, they drop everything at once. And then if it's a success, then they'll do it because they did that with Fallout. The next Fallout season is gonna be weekly, whereas with the first one, it was everything dropped at once.
Yeah, it doesn't say. I'm reading to like where it says the
I mean, I guess
It doesn't
maybe when we
actually
get
say.
closer, we'll find out.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, if
I
they
wouldn't
were
mind either
smart,
or. If it's for the first season, I don't mind if they drop everything at once. But if it's a
Or-
success, then next season, if they do another one, then has to be weekly.
Drop those episodes. Don't leave
You
us
already know how I
hanging.
feel about that stuff.
yeah, I would rather binge it. But if if they maybe they go the route of Fallout and release like 3 episodes and then weekly, give people a
Maybe.
taste and you come back. Who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. Either way, we're looking forward to the secret level from Amazon.
Secret
That looks-
tunnel.
I'm not gonna say it anymore because of you.
Aww.
All right, so the next bit of news we have is from Starfield. So Starfield got a big update, and they've been working heavily on it. The update consisted of things like 60 frames per second mode for the Xbox Series S, finally, as well as a Land Rover called Rev 8. It's a land vehicle, but also you can use it on water apparently if you drop in on a water planet. So that's really good. The longevity of this game is just going to keep going out because they also released the date for Shattered Space DLC, which is September 30th. And I actually can't wait for this DLC to come in because I know they're going to have mods and stuff, and I want to jump back into Starfield myself once
Yeah.
everything's released and I can like really jump back in because I beat the game like 6 times the way how the ending goes,
Yeah, I still haven't beat it. Like I want to get back into it, but it's just me.
Oh no, another backlog.
I want to get back into it though, especially after the most recent update with the 60 frames. I was like, that's more reason to get back in. But maybe when Shattered Space comes out, I'll be more inclined to finish it. Because I heard you can start it and stop at any time. It's not like because it's its own planet, so it's not like
Yeah.
you're tied to it. Like you can just do it whenever you want. It's not
Yeah.
like tied to the story in any particular way.
No, it's its own separate, of course, just a bigger expansion,
Yeah.
But so you can jump in whenever you want. But that's when I'm gonna jump in back in. I've been in the game, so I know the endings and I've seen all the stuff not all the stuff, because apparently there's so many different types of endings that you can have.
Yeah.
So I've seen what I've seen, and I can't wait to jump back in with Rev 8 vehicle as well as the DLC in September. I'm really looking forward to it because I really like Starfield. I
Yeah.
really like the game. I'm a sucker for like space games.
Yes,
Anything
so
in
am I.
space and it's like sci-fi, like
Sci-fi,
Star
yeah.
Wars. I'm in there. You know, like I'm really looking forward to Space Marine 2 coming out. I'm like, oh man, this is one I'm probably gonna have to buy. Um, so, but luckily, since we have Game Pass Ultimate, we will have this DLC. At least for me, I brought the $300 version of Starfield.
Oh boy.
Yeah, with the watch.
I just got the $30 upgrade. Like,
All right. I got I got the Starfield watch, which consists the game, the watch, and all the DLC and everything.
do you wear it?
I do.
Okay. I
It's a
was gonna say
smartwatch.
if you don't, then
Yeah, it's
So
a
I
Something
have
wrong.
it.
Yeah, it's a smartwatch. So
Okay.
it connects to your phone and all that. So I got that one, and then I also purchased a $30 upgrade for I think it was I did it originally for my wife, but I don't even think she played it. So I spent a lot of money on Starfield.
Clearly.
Yeah, I liked the game, so I enjoyed every bit of it. I can't wait to jump back into this DLC.
Nice.
And, the next bit of news that came out of Gamescom, this was the next day, which was yesterday. Um, yesterday, yesterday being Wednesday for any of you
As we record
listening.
this, yeah.
Yeah, as we record this.
Yes.
Genshin Impact is finally making its way to the Xbox after not being on Xbox or anywhere else besides PC and PlayStation 4 for a
Is it
long
on
time.
phones? I think it's on phones too, no?
But yeah, it's a
It's
mobile
always
game.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a mobile
yeah.
game.
Yeah, but like on consoles itself. It
Yeah.
was always on PS4, where I played a lot of it on my PS4. I think I played Genshin Impact the most on the PS4 than any other game, which is crazy.
Oh, the
Um,
joy.
Yeah, it's finally coming to Xbox and it'll be on Game Pass. It's free to play, so you can pre-download it actually right now and or buy the sort of extra pack. They have a $10 upgrade pack where you get like extra skins, extra characters and stuff like that. So that's available and it's coming. This
That
game
this is a bigger news than people realize. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people they see Genshin Impact. Oh, it's a gotcha game. Like, who cares? Xbox cares because they're gonna make a lot of money off of this, and because there's a lot of people who've been wanting it on Xbox.
Yeah.
And I mean, it made sense because, I mean, Genshin Impact makes money like nobody's business. So if you're a platform holder, you want it on your platform. So now that it's finally coming onto Xbox, like that's just is really, really good news for the players on there. I'm not gonna play it, but
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I've never spent a dime on this game. I downloaded and played it a ton, but never spent a dime on this game.
You should.
I know.
no, you're right. You shouldn't, but
But
not
when
everybody feels the same.
Yeah, when it comes to
No.
Xbox, I will play it again. I'm gonna be honest. I want to play it. I want those achievements.
It's not my thing, but more power
Yeah.
to you.
I know. As you can see from when we discuss what we've been playing. I play a lot of games.
Yeah, you play a lot of
different
games.
You know, I will give any game a good try. That's what we do. We're gamers, so we play a lot of games.
You right?
And I'm looking forward to Genshin Impact hitting Xbox. What I'm not looking forward to, let me stop. I'm kidding. Boy, it was a really bad time for them to announce this game, simply because the movie was released and it did not do very well at the box office. Both in sort of like the critics as well as the amount of money it made. It did not make a lot of money. Borderlands. So they
Didn't it get like a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't use Rotten Tomatoes because it's
No, I
terrible
mean,
anyway, but still.
I tend not to listen to. I use it as like a guide,
Yeah.
and I tend to listen more to the audience score than anything. But the fact that like even the critics gave it just 4%, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
They couldn't defend it.
They couldn't find any redeemable quality. I think there was like one review that gave it like a 7 or some or 6. That's
Jesus
why
Christ.
it's at 4%.
Yeah. So I mean, although the movie is not doing well, the video game franchise in general still does well, still sells well. So they
Okay.
have announced Borderlands 4 at Gamescom, and it will be launching next year. It says 2025, of course, across every platform, PC, PS5, and the Series X consoles. Um,
You,
so
you
it's-
have to you have to wonder, or not wonder, but you have to imagine that like the developers were very pissed that the movie didn't turn out as well as they hoped. Because I'm
mean-
assuming they were gonna use the movie as kind of like a launching pad for the game to be like, oh hey, you like the movie? Why don't you try the game out?
Yeah,
We
we
got
got
a new
another
one
one
coming
coming
out.
out.
Yeah,
I
So, like,
mean,
walk.
it's like damn.
they could have predicted this. They had like Kate Blanchett. They had
They had
Uh,
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. They had some really big actors in here. They had Jack Black as Claptrap. You know, so they thought they had a winning formula, but
I mean,
it
you can have a
doesn't.
star-studded cast. It doesn't mean that it's gonna be a guaranteed success.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
if you normally combine Jack Black and Kevin Hart, you normally got some good things going. Just
Yeah,
Well, that's if
yeah.
the writing is good. If the writing's trash, then it's like, what are they gonna do? They're just reading off whatever crap writing they made them read.
I mean, that's true. You know, it really depends on the writing, the story. I don't think Borderlands really is that type of game that you can translate well to movies. You know, because it's just a looter shooter.
Yeah,
You know, so it's weird for it to. I mean, sure, it has a base story, and you're playing along in the story in this looter shooter, but I don't know if it was ever gonna translate well to anything other than video games.
yeah. I think what another issue is that, and I've noticed this like with other video game movies, uh directors don't like doing, I don't want to say they don't like doing faithful adaptations, but it's like they always want to do their own spin on thing. And we noticed that, I mean, it's not a movie, but like with the Halo TV show. Like
Yeah.
they wanted to do their own thing, and they specifically did not want to do anything that the games did.
They actually
And
told
it's-
the actors do not play the game.
Yeah, same thing with The Last of Us. Although The Last of Us did a pretty good job. They told what's the name? The one who played
Bad with names. Don't do this to
Ellie.
I'm bad with names. Don't do this to me.
Anyway,
we're not Brother Jay. Don't ask.
the
We
the
don't
act-
know act.
one who played Ellie, whatever.
Yes.
They told him not to play Last of Us. And I
Yeah.
guess it was mostly because that they wanted to have them give a fresh take on the character. But it's like at the same time, it's like they need to know who they're playing. They can't just
For me, that doesn't make any sense. At all.
They
Like-
need to know the character. Like, I mean, it's one
Like-
thing if it's an original character for the movie or TV show.
Yeah.
Fine, they can give their own spin. But if it's a character from an already established franchise, you need to have some kind of like bullet point. Oh my god, they do this. This is what they like. This is kind of like how they would react to stuff, so that they can kind of gauge what they would do in like when playing the role.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. If there's an established character, you're playing this character, right? You will want to do some research and know exactly about the character you're
remember-
playing. You know, I don't get it.
I
Why?
remember when during the X-Men movies, I think it was the first one, that they told Hugh Jackman not to read the comic books, and Kevin Feige, who was like now the head, because he was a producer on the movie, now he's the head of Marvel Studios. He snuck comics into like Hugh Jackman's trailer to like give him kind of like the reference points. So it's just like I don't understand why directors do this stuff. It's like why do you want to ruin? And maybe it's just because they look down on it. Maybe they're just doing it because it's money. Like they're just trying to get that paycheck.
They're pretentious Hollywood assholes. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
essentially, yeah.
But
And
yeah,
it's so annoying.
Yeah, no, it really is. It doesn't make any sense. And unfortunately for the Borderlands movie, it didn't translate well either and didn't do well. It's not doing well as we speak. But let's hope Borderlands 4, the video game, does well. I've always
sure it will.
I've always enjoyed playing Borderlands. I really got into it in part 3, which is, I heard, not the best one. They say part 2 was best, but Part 3, and then of course the spin-off Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which was really good. So sort of like D&D, but Borderlands, you know.
Yeah.
That was really good.
The great Tiny Tina.
Yes, the great Tiny Tina. So we're hoping that Borderlands 4 in 2025 is received better than the movie.
Yes. I mean, I'm sure the developers are hoping to, and publisher.
Yeah. And I want to say this is probably the biggest news, at least in the Twitter world. This was the biggest news that came out of Gamescom, was that Microsoft confirms Indiana Jones is coming to PS5 after its Xbox debut. So Xbox will get Indiana Jones and the Great Circle in December, and it will be coming to PS5 sometime in the spring. So I'm assuming maybe 3 or 4 months later, it will come out. The PS5. So December 9th is the official Xbox and PC launch for Indiana Jones, and let's just say it did not go over well online at all. Lots of people.
That's the understatement of the century.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're in the Twitter world, and I always say this, before I say this, on Twitter, it's its own world, its own bubble. It's not every gamer thinks this way. So take it with a grain of salt. But Twitter was on fire with this news. Everyone was talking about Indiana Jones coming to PS5 after sort of them pulling up receipts of Phil Spencer saying it wasn't. But that was, again, taken out of context. A lot of stuff going on with this. Honestly, I'll give my point of view before we bring it over to you, gentlemen. I really don't care. I really don't care. As an Xbox player, I play most of my games on Xbox. I'm gonna get this first at Game Pass. I'm not gonna be paying $70+ for it. If it goes to PlayStation in the spring, they're gonna be paying $70+ for this game. And we know they will, because they don't have any games on PlayStation right now. It's pretty dry. So they could use some handouts from Xbox, apparently. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm going to be able to play this game on Game Pass Ultimate, and I'm going to enjoy it. And that's it. That's how I feel.
So
what say you?
All right. Well, actually, you know what, Tay, because you are a predominantly PlayStation gamer.
Yeah, but PlayStation C.
What are your thoughts on this former Xbox game coming to PlayStation?
I'm a fan of it fully. Because like I said, as Brother Zay has said, there's not a lot of games to play on PlayStation that have like really caught my attention from time being. So I'm like, okay, like whatever comes out, comes out. But you need to understand, I'm also very common sensey. So like I don't have a former loyalty to any game system.
Right.
Whatever I play is what I play. So like when these games come out, I'm like, okay, what is it? Because I don't normally know what they are due to me not really having PlayStation that often. So when I see it, I'm like, oh, this is coming. I'm like, yo, this game looks great.
Yeah,
I'm happy it's coming now. That's what I normally.
That's what, I'm glad you said that, because you essentially speak for the majority of people who play these games or just play games in general. They don't give a shit. That's what it is, essentially. And
it's unfortunate that because always the louder bunch, it's always what looks the worst on everybody.
Yeah, and I think as Brother Zay said, Twitter is a bubble. A lot of people they're a vocal minority. They will tweet their asses off. Like I've seen so many people literally tweeting like every 20 minutes something regarding this, and I'm just like, yo, go outside, please. Do something with your time, because this is insane.
Yeah.
And it was starting to get funny.
Touching
like
grass.
Touching grass, please touch the proverbial grass.
Yeah.
Because it was getting out of control, the amount of like just toxicity that was coming out of the community. And it's been happening all year. And that's one thing, like I want to stop using Twitter, but I can't because unfortunately it's where I
Well,
also get my news from.
yeah, as well.
Until I prefer using Threads. I like Threads, but for whatever reason, Threads they don't like giving you the news. Like literally, they're
Just
always like 20 or 24 hours behind something that everybody's talking about, and I don't like
Right.
that. So
Threads does run through. Unfortunately, it does run through like Instagram. So Instagram
yeah,
is behind a lot of things too.
yeah, that's
And
the unfortunate part.
that's
So
what
guys, like
uh,
literally, when this was all going on Twitter, it was the next day that I started seeing it pop up on Threads, and I'm just like, yo, you mad late. So
that's the issue was that like because of how much people use like you wanna know how bad we still call it Twitter. It's no longer Twitter, remember that.
I
It's
will never
X.
call it. I will never
No.
call it whatever Elon Musk wants me to call it. I will call it
It
I
is-
Twitter.
know that.
It is Twitter, and we will remain calling it
Yeah,
Twitter.
until the day the app shuts down, I will call it Twitter. So,
Facts.
but
Facts.
anyway, so yeah, there was just a lot of just craziness going on around this.
So
And go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, everybody was talking about how this is the death of Xbox. The death of Xbox is that's here. We are no longer seeing that. We no longer see that Phil Spencer and the executives at Xbox care about console gamers.
No.
It was just a lot of that craziness.
It was a lot of
gloom is
faith.
back.
It was
Yeah.
it was about a lot of bad faith takes. And I think
Yeah.
honestly I as a gamer, as a consumer, I can see why people would be frustrated. But on the other hand, I'm trying to look big picture because Microsoft is anything but dumb. Now, granted, they make a lot of mistakes, but they always, always, always learn from them. And I think this is one of those learning situations. They've made, I mean, if you look at the Xbox One or even the 360, Red Ring of Death, like, they're always like, they make mistakes, but they learn from them and they iterate and try to be better the next time. I think they're trying to kind of like preemptively, because that's another thing too. Microsoft is always they always say they're too early to the party. They're always
They are-
doing things that are way beyond what people are ready for. Like the
They are
fact
at
that
least a decade ahead. Of
yeah,
the-
we're like see how common it is for a video game to get a TV show, to get a movie. Microsoft was thinking about that 10 years ago when they first announced their Halo movie. Granted, that took forever and a day to eventually come out as a TV show, but they were thinking about that 10 years ago. And now they're preparing for what they see as the future. And it's for the casual gamer who doesn't care about this stuff, it's honestly going to be beneficial because what they're seeing is that you will play whatever games you want to play on whatever platform you prefer, because that's how it is on like phones, for instance. And I use this as an example for people. It's like that's what they're envisioning, a future of gaming where you just play where you want to play, whether it's PC, whether it's console, whether it's on a handheld, whether it's on cloud. Just play whatever you want to play the way you want to play it. And that's essentially how phones are. Because, like, when you choose between Android or iPhone, are you really thinking about, okay, what apps do they have? Like, no. All the apps are available everywhere.
Yeah.
Aside from, like, maybe, like, one or two. Like, if they're like a smaller company, maybe they'll release it on one just getting started, but eventually it'll come to the other one. But for the most part, every app that you would use is on both Android and iPhone. So literally the only thing that iPhone has that maybe is appealing is iMessage, and that's it. Because FaceTime you can use on Android because like they just released that, and then even they didn't do it yet, but in the upcoming update, they're gonna add RCS, which essentially makes
It's already out. It's in beta.
but like
a
they're
lot
gonna
of people have it already.
yeah, they're gonna release it for everybody though in the next update.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's gonna essentially like not undermine iMessage, but it basically kind of makes it irrelevant.
I mean,
Because-
it will definitely bump it up to the new age because they're using old technology with iMessage.
Right. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
They're
So
now on the even playing field with everybody else in the world.
right. So essentially the barriers are being lowered, and they're essentially becoming the same thing. Android and iPhone are essentially the same phone. But you still see the arguments. You still see, oh, Android's better than iPhone. iPhone's better than Android. They're the same shit. Like when you get right down to it, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
always
just
will
whatever
be.
you prefer. You prefer the iOS or you prefer Android. It's literally what you prefer. And that's essentially what Microsoft is envisioning for gaming, where you just play what you want to play. The consoles are the same essentially, which they pretty much are. PS5 and Series X are essentially the same. Maybe a little bit one is more better than the other, but in terms of like playing the games, like you really don't see that much of a difference. Like minuscule, like magnifying glass type stuff that you can notice the difference between. So, and I think, and I feel like I said it in last week's episode, that the future is PC, but it's gonna be with kind of like. So I think Microsoft will be first to it, and they're gonna release their whatever next Xbox. It's gonna be essentially a PC underneath, but with the Xbox OS on top. So that way, for like the people who want that traditional console experience, they can get that. But if you want, you can go into the PC side, the settings, and customize it to your liking. You can install Steam, you can install Epic Game Store, GOG, all these other games or all the services, and make it what you want it to be. And
I mean, if that happens on the next Xbox, that's insane.
I think that's what they're going to do. And I think the reason why they're doing that is because it's easier to iterate on. Because with console, you have to essentially, like, you have to make a SKU, and you have to give the dev kits to the developers, and they have to, like, get to learn how to use it, and it takes time to make a game work on a certain platform, and this, and that. That's why the generations last so long, because it's like, it's impractical to constantly release different versions of a new the same platform. They just started doing like the mid-gen refreshes with last gen, and I mean, we don't know officially, but PlayStation is seemingly gonna do that again with the rumored PS5 Pro.
Still
But
rumored, by the way.
Yeah, still rumored. It's supposed to come out this year. Still haven't heard anything. But regardless, I think Xbox is taking a different approach to where they can make different versions faster, the same way that new GPUs come out like every year or every other year. Similar. So that's also leading to the rumors about like Xbox releasing their next gen console earlier, like in 2026.
Yeah.
That way, by the time the PS6 comes out, they'll have another version of that because of the way they made it. It's easier to iterate on. This, again, going back to like the whole situation, they're gonna put more games on PlayStation. And at the end of the day, if that bothers you, then, I mean, you gotta make a decision. Is Xbox your platform of choice because of the exclusive games that they had? And I can tell you right now, that's a flat-out lie, because there were very little exclusive games for the majority of the Xbox's life cycle.
Yeah.
I mean,
We have a handful.
Yeah, even going back to the 360, if you count how many actual like exclusive, like first-party exclusive, it was very little. Very little.
We had Halo, Forza, and Gears, and that's it.
That's it. And
those three exclusives.
Yeah, and it's always been that. So like if you chose Xbox way back then, like you chose it because you like Xbox. It wasn't because of the exclusives. It wasn't because of anything like that. So if you're still with Xbox at this point, then you might as well just stay. Like, just don't front. It's okay. Xbox doesn't have that many exclusives. And now with their new thing, their new strategy, they won't have many exclusives. So it's like, what do you value in gaming? If other PlayStation players playing a game that was previously an Xbox exclusive, if that is why you play games, then I'm gonna be honest, you're playing games for the wrong reasons.
Maybe you shouldn't be. Maybe you shouldn't be playing games anymore.
Yeah, like
If another console added more players, because as a gamer, wouldn't you love to play with all your friends that have different consoles?
right.
That now everyone, like, a lot of us are going toward like cross gaming anyway.
Crossplay.
That's why Among Us was so popular, because you could play it on computers and on your phones and on consoles together.
Yeah,
That's why they integrated Discord in these consoles now. So we can talk to the people who are on PC, who are on PlayStation, and play together. You know, why limit everybody?
Why do you think Dead by Daylight is still going and it can still add these things? Everyone's playing together.
Yep. And then more games are adding it as a standard. I'm hoping, like, the bigger games, like even like GTA 6, I hope that's crossplay, because that will just make things so much better. The only one, all right, that being said, the only one who can still get away with doing this is Nintendo. Because you're never gonna see Mario, Mario on anything but Nintendo.
There could be a dance. We can have Mario Party on all crossplay.
I mean, I would love that. I would love that so much. It's not gonna happen though.
It's not. Nintendo is so makes so much money, and like everything we do is ahead of stuff.
Honestly, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I just don't get every company that's out there right now for games. Nintendo's, Sony, with the PlayStation, Xbox. They all do this. Okay, nobody had doom and gloom for PlayStation when PlayStation had to launch in Game Pass MLB The Show. Nobody said anything when PlayStation put their games on PC and are now giving games to the Nintendo Switch with their Lego Horizon game. There's no doom and gloom on those sides of the argument. It's always just Xbox is dying.
It's always on Xbox, yeah.
It's always, yeah. So every company is doing something to make more money, because that's what these companies do. They need to make more money. It's a business, you know?
Right.
They are going to change with the times. Things have changed a lot since 2001 when the first Xbox was released. It is no longer about the console, about the plastic box. You know, they're not making money off these. They have to make money somewhere else. It's about services. It's about monthly active users. It's about having more people play those games and purchase items in those games. As much as we hate to hear about microtransactions, it is a driving force to some of the biggest games out there. Look at Fortnite. Look at Call of Duty. Look at
Genshin.
Genshin, there you go. Look at that.
Look at Minecraft. These are all games that have been out for so long and have been making so much money. It's absolutely insane. They just want a piece of that pie, and they're gonna get it one way or another. And I don't understand how people could be so upset that somebody else gets to play a game. First of all, we'll be able to play Xbox players. Let's say Xbox players will be able to play these games with their Game Pass subscription. And if you're on PlayStation, like Brother Tay, he's gonna have to pay $70 for that game, you know. and I don't see that as sort of like, oh my God, Xbox is dead. No, that means Xbox is making more money. That just means that his money is gonna be able to fund more games coming to Game Pass. So why is that? Why are people so upset?
True.
It's just those people grew up never sharing their toys. And that's what they believe. Like, no, this is mine. I don't want anybody to have it. I can't have a good time if other people are having fun. So that's literally what it is.
I mean, but PlayStation's giving their games to PC sooner and sooner, as we can see. Because it's what game has just dropped?
Nope.
Concord. It's on PC and on PlayStation.
Nobody ever said they were logical.
No, that's yeah. I mean, it's just the double standard is weird. It's odd.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are coming after Phil Spencer, saying that he lied, saying that because he said in an interview back in February that one of the games is not coming to PlayStation is Indiana Jones. But now we get the news that Indiana Jones is coming to PlayStation.
It was out of context.
It
People,
was, yes,
I said
exactly.
I said it I said it in a response to someone. Like, people just they hear what they want to. They hear what they want to hear.
Yeah.
They purposely took their Phil Spencer's comments out of context because it fit the narrative that they wanted to believe.
Yes.
They don't listen to what he's saying. They make assumptions about what he said, and then base their reaction on what they thought he said. And it's so frustrating because it's like, no, that's not what he said. Just listen, go back. This even go way back to when they bought Bethesda. They said every game is case by case. That's what he said in the beginning. But people say, oh, he lied. He didn't lie. He never said that there wouldn't be any games coming to PlayStation.
Yeah. When they asked him that question, they were talking about the 4 games that were initially going to be released on PlayStation and Nintendo. And he said, out of those 4 games, it's not Starfield and it's not Indiana Jones.
That's all he said.
We all knew it wasn't going to be Starfield and Indiana Jones. And what did it end up being? Like, it was like Sea of Thieves and like, I don't know.
Hi-Fi Rush,
Pentiment,
Grounded.
there you go. And Grounded. Those are the 4 games. So he didn't lie. It wasn't Indiana Jones and it wasn't Starfield.
He didn't say they weren't coming.
Yeah, he didn't say
it wasn't
never.
those games.
It wasn't part of that slate coming out in the spring. You know, and they took the data from those 4 games and they realized, wow, we made a boatload of money off of PlayStation players. Let's put more games over there because they can make more money. And that's what these companies are doing. And people have to realize, just because a PlayStation player is going to be able to play Indiana Jones doesn't mean that you have to not play it or not enjoy it on your Game Pass.
Honestly, I feel like I said this last week too. I feel like PlayStation's gonna eventually do the same thing because,
of course,
we were talking about Helldivers and all the shit that they're going through. It's on PC already, so it's not like they can expand to there. What else can you do to get people back into this game? Possibly bring it to a new platform that people have been saying they want to play this game. Why not? Who cares at this point? If Xbox is comfortable putting games on PlayStation and giving PlayStation those gamers their money, like, because PlayStation still makes that 30%. I mean, it's not like they're getting nothing out of it.
Yeah, sure.
So why not just do it back? Like, also, you got to think, Sony. I mean, granted, they're business. Obviously, they're gonna make business decisions, but Sony, they have a bit of an ego. You really think they're comfortable with Xbox games performing better on PlayStation than their own games? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they're probably going to want to fight back on that and be like, hey, why don't we put our games on Xbox and do better on it? Because I guarantee you there's a strong possibility that those games will do better, perform better on Xbox than they would than Xbox games, because Xbox games are on Game Pass. Imagine if they put God of War on Xbox. That would sell instantly. Actually, because you can't get it on Game Pass.
There's I forget the actual name of the person. He was a former executive at Sony, and after the news about Indiana Jones releasing on PlayStation, he went, "What do you think PlayStation is doing?" He said, "Eventually they're going to release Spider-Man and Helldivers 2 on the Xbox." He said that on a video on YouTube, and I'm like, "Holy crap!" Imagine if that happens.
And people are saying, "Oh, the Disney fees for Indiana Jones must be really high." It's like, yeah, we know, because of that Insomniac leak showed us how much Sony was paying to get the Spider-Man license. And you don't think they're contemplating, like, maybe we should put this on the Xbox to get a little bit more money out of this IP?
And it will sell well on Xbox.
It will sell well. It's like, the only thing is, it's pride. And time will tell, but I think that's what we're heading. And again, I said this, we're going to have a future where you just pick where you want to play. Whatever your preference is, the controller or the OS, the achievements or trophies, that's going to be what drives you to play on what you want to play.
I mean, you can get trophies on PC now. So, like, I don't understand the gripe with it. You get achievements on PC, you get trophies on PC. Eventually, like you said, everything's going to be integrated into just having everything on a PC. Like, you know, whether it's Xbox making a console that can access Steam and Epic and all these other things, or whether it's PlayStation just releasing day and date their games on PC, like they did today with Concord. You know, you
Yeah.
don't see the outrage with that. It's just people need to relax. Xbox is not going away. They're making a new console. Sarah Bond already came out and said this. So who cares whether it sells well or not? This is not 2000. We don't care about the sales and the numbers. We're consumers. We're not part of the board of the directors for Xbox.
That's ultimately what the issue is that people are still stuck in that console is the end all be all, when it's not anymore. It's much bigger than the console itself, and both Xbox and PlayStation have been making moves that essentially prove that right. The only one who's not doing that is Nintendo, but they're an anomaly. They're the exception to the rule. They can get away with sticking to this. I mean, maybe not. Maybe the Switch 2 bombs, and maybe they're just like, okay, maybe we need to make a little bit more money off of our IP. I mean, granted, they've been putting their games on like phones now.
Yeah.
So that's a departure from what they've been doing. They put Mario on there, like Mario Kart. I mean, granted, they don't own Pokemon, but I mean that's still associated with Nintendo.
Yeah.
So it's like they're dipping their toes into beyond the Nintendo console. So it's like
Nintendo's far behind.
Yeah. No, they got plenty of time before they even think about doing that stuff.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what Phil Spencer said, he did an interview after all that, and he basically said it straight up. The industry is changing, and they're changing as well. They're changing with it. So I think just people need to just relax. It's not the end of the world. If you're an Xbox fan, you still get these games. It's not like, oh, did all of a sudden they're gonna just disappear. No, you still get these games. Xbox is still dedicated to the console because they still make money off of it. It's not like they don't make money off of it. That's why their revenue is constantly going up. Their gaming and services, it keeps going up. Even before ABK, it kept going up.
Yeah.
Because they make money off of it. Like you said, it's software. Ultimately, just play games where you want to play. Stop worrying about everybody else. Just worry about you. Play what you want to play.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
That's literally the end of the news cycle. It ends with the ending of doom and gloom. Let's stop it.
You know that's not gonna happen.
I know.
Never.
But
I'm just looking for a Civil War, honestly, at this point.
People just looking for something to whine about. That's honestly every fandom that I'm a part of is whining about something. It's never ending. It's like I hate it. But anyway, that'll do it for us. Thank you for listening. Remember, you can like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Rate us if you're listening on the podcasting app. Support our sponsors because they support us. Links are in the description. And that's it. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
Say your demure self.